how to turn your dreams and your vision into measurable results. Stay tuned. Hey, this is Damon Carr from NLP Gym, bringing you cutting-edge Neuro Linguistic Programming tools and techniques to help you create the life that you desire. And so if that sounds good to you, please click subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can get these videos on a regular basis. I'm coming to you from Macau, actually. I took a ferry from Hong Kong over to Macau to check it out. A lot of us are dreamers. We get really into our dreams. We sometimes even fall in love with our dreams, so much so that we're actually afraid to take action on the dream because then it might ruin the purity of the fantasy or the purity of the dream, because when we try to implement it, it might not work out the way that we expect. Now, a lot of this happens unconsciously for a lot of people. A lot of people don't realize that that's why they're not taking action on their dreams. They just keep dreaming, they keep talking about their dreams, they tell their friends and family about it, but they don't actually ever do anything about it. And that's one of the main reasons, because they're actually afraid to. They're afraid if it doesn't work out, and they'll be crushed and discouraged because they're so in love with this idea or this concept of what it is they want. The other side to that is more the mathematical, engineering, realistic type person who is all about whether or not something will work or not work, and they get so caught up in it that they find themselves in limitation and in scarcity. They're not allowing themselves to dream, and probably that is a protective mechanism. They don't want to dream about something because they've done that before. They've dreamed something up and it didn't work out, so they go to the other side of it where they're only about what's realistic, only about what will actually work. And they often will not take action on something that's a little out there, a little outside their comfort zone even, because they just don't see it mathematically and logically working out. So either way, if you're on one extreme or the other, if you're way into dreaming or you're way into logic, if you're an extreme of either one, it tends to stop you from taking action, and it limits you that way. So I met up with a friend of mine from Hong Kong. I hadn't seen her in many, many years. And I was talking to her about her business, and her business is very similar to mine, except it's based in Hong Kong and it's in Cantonese, not English. And I started talking to her about what she was doing and comparing notes to what I'm doing with my business online. And she told me something that really inspired me. At first it really blew my mind, but then it really inspired me. She has a product that she charges $25,000 for. And so I asked her, say hi. Say hi to the people back in the US. She has a product that she charges $25,000 for, and people pay that price. They believe it's worth it, and so they pay it, and they get what they want out of it. Otherwise, they wouldn't pay the money. And the way that she told me that she decided to do it was extraordinary. She decided she wanted to have a product for $25,000, and then she started asking herself, what would that product be? What would be worth $25,000 to someone? And so she started with what my mentor Steve Andreas would call downside planning or backwards planning, where you start with where you want to go or what you want to do, and then you can work backwards logically. So you start with the dream, and then you work back logically, chunking it down bit by bit, so you do have a plan, a procedure, a step one, step two, except you start with the outcome, and then you go to the last step, and then the step before that, and the step before that. And so if you've seen my videos, you've heard me talk about something similar. We call it chunking. So basically you start with the outcome, you start with the dream, and then chunk backwards. What this does is it implements both dreaming and logic at the same time. The two meet in the middle, the two extremes, the extreme dream and the extreme logic actually meet in the middle when you do this. So it's great to dream. You should never stop dreaming. Always dream. Think of stuff that's way out there. So for her at one time, charging $25,000 for a product seemed way out there, but she allowed herself to dream. And then she thought, okay, well, I'm not going to just keep dreaming about this. I want to make it a reality. So how do I do that? I go to where it ended, where the outcome actually happens, and then see how I found my way there and move all the way back to the beginning. Unfortunately, most people work the opposite way. they do have that kind of dream, the thing that they would want to do, but they don't think about it like that. They go one step at a time, and they don't have a true direction. They don't really know how they're going to get there. They just see what's possible little by little, step by step, without having a real vision in mind of where they want to go. It's sort of out there, it's sort of nebulous, and they just see, okay, well, does this work, and little steps at a time. And that can work, but it will either take a very long time, or it can be very discouraging because you don't really know where you're going. You're just sort of letting whatever happen dictate where you're going. So it's much more powerful if you jump into the outcome first and then work backwards, rather than taking a step at a time and hoping that someday you get to where you want to be, or that you achieve your dream. You need to have a vision, and your values will guide your vision. Your values will inform what your vision is. And then ask yourself, well, how do I do that? How do I fulfill that? What fulfills me? What fulfills my values? And then create a vision out of that, and make sure you dream. Get a little out there. Let your imagination run wild. And then finally say, okay, well, what is that outcome? What is the life that I want to create? What is that business that I want to create? What is the overall picture of the entirety of my life? Career, relationship, kids, family, everything. And then say, okay, well, how do I work backwards to make this happen? So have a vision, be realistic, chunk it down, start with the end in mind first, and then find your way to now. Check out my website, nlp-gym.com. There you will find some free NLP training that you can download instantly, get instant access to it. Just download it to your phone, your tablet, or your desktop. Also, there's some free hypnotic inductions that you can also download for greater confidence and greater self-esteem. Just sit back, relax, let my voice take you there. Also, check out NLP Gym on Facebook if you want to know what I'm up to in real time. If I have a new online training coming out, or I'm doing a new event, you will find it on my Facebook page. So make sure you click like and follow on the Facebook page. And also, if you like this video, please click like right down here. And again, if you haven't subscribed to this channel already, please do so right now. Take care. So hey, whatever.